Let's go. Episode 15 of What Are We Thinking? Today is exceptionally exciting. This is obviously Alex talking for those of you listening. But of course, Josh is here. Josh, you want to say hello to everybody?
What's up?
And not only is Josh here, but one of maybe my best friend of all time, Daniel Barnett, the man himself, is joining us today. Daniel, say hello to everybody.
Let's go. What's up, everybody?
Daniel.
Y'all will hear more about Daniel.
In the
here.
overflow shirt.
Yeah, he's repping the overflow shirt. For those of you that are watching, look at this, dude. See that thing everywhere nowadays.
Overflow's taking over.
Absolutely, we're taking
The takeover.
Overflow. That's weird. That wasn't even a good joke. I tried so hard to make that like a punny dad joke thing, and that failed. But okay, so moving right along. We're gonna talk about Daniel a little bit more, but just know Daniel, he is the proprietor and owner of RTR Pro Entertainment, quite possibly the most explosive DJ business in North Alabama, spanning all the way to
100%.
Mississippi and all kinds of other things. We go way back, but we'll talk a little bit more about what Daniel's doing here in just a second. So guys, how have your weeks been so far?
Go ahead, Daniel.
It's been pretty good. Just a lot of transition in my life personally.
Mm-hmm.
So just kind of resetting some things. And, what's funny is actually a buddy of mine who kind of came on right after Alex just came on at 30% ownership of my business. So now we own it 70-30. And there's just been a lot of just the logistical stuff changing and kind of maneuvering around. So I've been dealing with a lot of that this week. So it's been good.
Nice.
Awesome. Well, I've been in my bedroom all week, so I really don't know anything that's going on in the outside world. I'm here, man, for sure. But I'm here. I'm doing good.
Dude, you're in Alicia's office right now. Did she let you do that?
Yeah, I had to talk to her about it, and then Ava came downstairs, and Ava was like, "Alicia, what are you doing at Dad's desk?" Said, "Well, he kicked me out of my office." And it's like, no, that's not what happened. Like, I asked if I could use your office.
No, you came down there and you said, "Woman, you submit to your authority. I am your husband, and I will tell you what to do." And then it punched you right in the face because she wouldn't take that from you for even 3 seconds.
That's true.
So,
it's very true.
So we're going to talk a little. Yeah, well, I will say this. We're going to talk a little bit more about Josh's week here in just a little bit. For those of you who don't know, Josh has contracted COVID-19, and I'm smiling and laughing about it, and it's not a subject to smile or laugh about, but it's because Josh is smiling right now because I'm talking about it, but he has contracted COVID-19, so we're going to talk about that in just a second. But my week has been phenomenal. I am consistently getting better at not working at home. That's been one thing that has been huge for me is trying to leave work at work. In ministry, it's so hard to do that sometimes because phone calls, text, whatever, but trying to work on work at work and then be able to go home and enjoy being home and hanging out with my wife and hanging out with my dog and whatever, going to the gym. And so this week has been probably so far since I've been a pastor. I'm talking about since I've been a pastor. This is going on a year and a half now. This week has been the best that it's ever been. I've done a good job at separating that and enjoying life a little bit.
That's awesome, dude.
I've enjoyed that. Sam and I have cleaned out so much of our house right now. I mean, just garbage bags full of stuff that we didn't want or clothes that she didn't want or whatever. Just really, really, really doing a thorough cleaning of our place, and it's awesome. I love not having junk everywhere. So that's been phenomenal. And Margot isn't peeing all over my floors nearly as much as she was before. And so that's made it nice. But we also went and got these Scentsies from Walmart, and they've turned out to be probably the best purchase of 2020 thus far because you can leave them on when you're gone. Like candles, you can't leave them burning when you leave the house, but Scentsies, you can. So it's been nice, and my house smells great. And yeah, it's been sensational. Sensational. Okay. Once again,
Sensational.
horrible. But
These S
uh,
words.
yeah, it's bad. But we've had a good week. So I bumped into once again. Maybe it was last week, maybe or early. Maybe it was early this week. I bumped into someone listening to the podcast at the gym. So that's so cool to me. Whenever that like they're working out and listening to the podcast at the same time as I'm working out. So that doesn't ever get old to me when that happens. That's just so neat. And that's like 30 miles away from our church. So cool week. But you guys want to get started with some headlines real quick? And Daniel,
Let's
I
go.
want your feedback on some of these as well. Okay.
Word. I'm down.
Okay. So number one, we'll start out with something that I know everyone's talking about, and we don't have to go like super in depth because I'm not even smart enough on this subject to go super in depth on it. But obviously, Kamala Harris has been she's been appointed as Joe Biden's vice president, and at face value, that seems like one of the more ironic things I've ever seen in politics, like ever in the history of politics. Like on the surface, yes, she is a female. She is biracial, which is great. You know, that's a step for our country. But like pretty much after that, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in that she's like an ex-cop. She was a prosecutor. She pretty much has done everything that party is against. Like not only has approved it, but like has actually been the person to send people to jail for certain things that this party is going against. And so it's like, oh, that's kind of ironic. I don't know. It's just kind of funny that I don't know, a party that would stand for like trying to take the future of America out of the hands of old white people, and the police would now have a representative that's an old white man and an ex police officer and criminal justice person. That just doesn't make any sense. So what are y'all's thoughts on that?
Go ahead, Daniel. I'll let you have it first.
Yeah, I saw a compilation video because apparently she was like the one to criticize Biden the most in the
Right.
primary.
Called him a racist.
It's just like videos of her flaming him, and then it's like at the end just a picture of them like sitting there smiling. So
it's crazy. I'm like, what is happening here? Like, who are we supposed to vote for right now? I don't know.
I know. That's where I'm at. I know she's she's pretty radical on some stuff, which I'm not. I found myself to be more of a libertarian nowadays. Like, I just want the government out of my business.
I feel personally.
Like, I'm not right or left. I'm just like, let me live my life. And
it literally takes the worst options in the history of the presidential election to make Americans think, maybe I just need to be libertarian instead of Republican or Democrat, because these are horrible options like across the board.
I've always leaned that way. Libertarian's always been kind of an area I've leaned. And I don't know much about her at all. I mean, personally, but I do know that most of the time when you go through these primary elections and they elect someone from that party, if the guy running for president picks somebody he ran against, they normally had a pretty rough debating history. Yeah. I mean, normally, they talk bad about one another, and they're like, hey, let's be on the same team. But it's, I'm glad they can do that, but I don't know. I mean, I know that the Christian community is definitely up in arms on Facebook about it. My gosh,
is losing their minds.
They are. Yeah, they are.
I'm talking actual pieces of brain are being
Yeah.
splattered across America right now from Christians.
It's just falling out of their ears.
They're actually dying at the thought of this.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, they're really struggling, and they have actually attacked her like on a whole new level every day. Like like. I get it if you don't agree with somebody. That's fine. That's totally fine. But to attack someone over and over and over and to say the things like her mom was from here, it's like, here we go again. We're going to start dissecting where someone's from again.
It's almost
never
like,
fails.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here. It's almost like we're not loving our neighbors as we would love ourselves. I mean, I don't know, but as far as Jesus's take on that, I don't know if Jesus stands for freedom of hate speech, even though America does. So,
It just blows my mind how they so many I guess right wing Christians.
uh huh.
It's just a blind eye to any negative thing that Trump or the Republicans could ever do.
Oh, there is no wrong they can do,
Are you
bro.
But
kidding me?
Like,
anything
Nothing bad's ever
that
happened. He's never done
anything that
anything wrong.
Obama or Biden or any of them have done, it's like, you know, just it's the worst thing that's ever happened to America. And don't get me wrong, I don't agree with 99% of what the left does. I'm not,
Sure,
I'm not a liberal by any means. I, compared to the Christian right, I probably do have some liberal views,
sure,
but
sure.
I just think going off the deep end on either side is, I think, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
the
You
right,
know,
All
the
right.
right, the right's very easily manipulated. Christians are very
Yeah.
easily manipulated, and they just whatever's hot at the moment, and they
All we
go
need
for
is
it.
someone that will go to a church and stand with the Bible in their hands. I'm gonna vote for him. That's what we need.
I want to say, like, we always vote on the pro-life movement, but abortion has always been legal. It's never
Right.
not been legal. I mean,
Right.
like, since Roe v. Wade. So I wonder if we're ever gonna like say, can we just not make that a thing? Like,
Right.
it's
Like,
either
is
gonna
it
not happen or it's gonna happen, but
because if
it's not
it's
running on
happening
it.
with all of these Republican presidents, it doesn't seem like much is being done to prevent it,
They
which
don't
makes it a weird
care.
thing to vote about. But okay, so number two, this one's a little bit. This one's a lot a bit heavier. I don't even know why I said a little bit, but obviously, if you're on social media or anything like that, you know that right now there's a huge dialogue and a huge push to end. I mean, at least to fight against like the human sex trafficking movement that has been happening for a very long time. There's a big fight being taken against, of course, places like Pornhub and stuff like that that are all but empowering this to take place. And so I will say that, man, of all the social issues that we've seen arise recently, I love that this is coming to the forefront. I mean, if anyone has been a Christian for any amount of time, you've probably heard of the End It movement. I mean, this isn't anything new. This has been something that has been um, it's been being fought against. There are plenty of organizations out there, but now it seems like it's just another tactic because I want, my gosh, like I will send my money and I'm all for this. Don't you think it's interesting though that people are now using this as another way to shame people for like, I don't know, it's just interesting to me that this is such like this is an incredibly important topic, but it's almost like it's being used as another way to, I don't know, I just keep seeing people online talk about how important this is, but like this has been going on for like 10, 15 years. I've never seen them post about it before. And so it's just interesting. I don't know. It's just interesting to me to watch that happen. But I love that this is becoming a thing and I hope that it ends. I don't know. What are some of y'all's thoughts on that?
Well, we've politicized it now. I
Yeah.
mean, now that
Don't you
somebody
hate
took
that?
it. I know, and I do too. Because it's. I wanted to say to most people, "Well, welcome to the party."
Right.
First of all,
Right.
we've been talking about this stuff, supporting these groups. There's actually an End It Slavery in Tennessee.
Right.
There's all these different organizations you can support. But here's the thing that I know will happen, and I actually wanted to like call these companies and poll them and go, I want to know who actually signs up to work on your team.
Right.
I want to know who actually signs up to volunteer to help fight against child trafficking or human
Right.
trafficking because what we do is, especially in the Christian community, we get on Facebook and we share these things because we want everybody to shut up about things we don't want to talk about anymore, and then
Right.
we don't do anything about it. Like,
Never.
they're not going to give any money to these companies. They're not going to
Right.
serve. They're not going to volunteer. They're not going to do anything. They're just going to go, this has got to stop. It's like the little 5-year-old that got murdered for riding his bicycle. We're going to take that which is a
Right.
horrible tragedy, but
Yeah.
we're going to politicize it. It's what we, it's
Right.
just, it's sad, dude. It's,
I do.
it's really sad.
I hate it, but
Yeah, actually, what's crazy is okay, I don't really know these people, but actually just yesterday, I heard of a situation uh, kind of near me
Yeah.
where somebody had bought a child from slavery, and somebody had used their number to buy the child, and they thought
Whoa.
keeping the child and not returning. And dude, they were like sending all these text messages of, "We know where you live, we know where you work, we're coming after you." And dude, it was nuts. Like I
Whoa.
don't know the people very
That
well,
is
but it's
intense.
weird that we're talking about this, and that literally I heard about that
That
yesterday.
just happened. That's
And
insane.
and yeah, dude, and even for me, I've been seeing it, all over social media. I'm not a big political poster. Like, you know, I'm not I'm not about like, there's a movement going on. Let me throw it all over my
Sure.
social media.
Sure.
But dude, I definitely think it's something that needs to be, because it's such a big monster
Yeah.
that, I mean, I don't
Yeah,
even. I mean, what is the answer? Like, I don't.
Right.
Is it sharing a Facebook post? Like, what is going to stop it? Will it ever be stopped? Is it
Right.
one of those things
Right.
that's just, send, as long as we're here on Earth, it's going to abound? Is that just one of those
I
things
don't.
that?
I don't think you'll ever be able to stop it. I think you can do your best to protect your kids. You can educate parents on what their kids are doing on social media, who they're talking to, if they're talking to a predator who they don't even know is a predator.
Yeah.
I've tried to be very proactive with my kids about that. Tell them, like, just because you think you're talking to somebody doesn't mean you're actually talking to that
That's
person.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So, and kids find a lot of affirmation and validation on social media. So that's one thing you can do. You can help organizations that go out and rescue these girls and
Yeah.
boys that are out there, because they do that.
And if
Um,
anyone's looking for a really great organization like that, if you look up Christine Kane, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of her. She's an evangelist, a preacher. She's preaching at a lot of huge events, but she is an organization. I'm pretty sure it's called Acts 21, if I'm not mistaken. It's Acts something, but Christine Kane, go look her up. See Christine and then Caine, and they've got an organization where they actually send missionaries like into these countries, or even across America where this is happening, and they send people into these environments and like physically rescue people
Wow.
and do stuff like this. And they've got, you hear tons of their stories and stuff. It's really really cool what they're doing. So I don't know if you if you do want to be, give something like that, go check that out. But
And
so
even, did y'all see the? I've been seeing this on, I guess, Facebook and stuff too, where they're trying to normalize pedophilia and things
yeah,
like
that's
that.
that's where all
yeah,
this is come from,
Okay.
is like the talks about all this, and which is absolutely it's
Bro, that
insane.
blows
The
my mind.
the
Like,
thought of
that is
that
the
is
weirdest thing I've
absolutely
ever seen.
like, that's the craziest thing. There surely to goodness is no way that will become a thing. I just, there's no way like that. That is absolutely insane to me.
Yeah.
But so yeah, that bit of a heavy topic there for our normal take, but
and
I did want to
to
throw it out there.
to give you just as more definite, that Christine Kane's organization is called the A21 campaign.
A21. Okay, that's what I
Yeah,
thought.
it's a21.org is the website to go to actually check that out.
You should
Um,
check it out.
and yeah, that's to normalize pedophilia and to say that older men or women have the right to a relationship with the child. I mean, that's something that's been in the back burner for a long time. I've heard about it for a while, but yeah, that's that's sick on every level. I mean,
That
it's
is.
it's
It's
evil,
it's
and
insane.
but it's where we're headed. I mean,
Right.
like, that's when you look at the Roman Empire and all these other
That's right.
things that all collapsed, is because their desires and their lusts were so strong they couldn't
Mm-hmm.
control anything anymore. So
Right.
it's kind of, that's just this. And pornography, that's where it leads people.
That's
It
right.
leads people to be serial killers. It leads people to be rapists. It leads people to be into pedophilia. You have to
Yeah.
have a next step in all those things. So yeah, it sucks, dude, but it's definitely something we're gonna have to deal with.
And even before we move on, I will say, if anyone is listening and that's something that you deal with or you struggle with, talk to someone about it. First of all, a
Yeah.
pastor, a leader, a mentor. I would say that that's a part of my story. It's part of Josh's story. It's part of lots of people that I know story, and you don't have to deal with that forever. It's not something that you have to keep a secret. It's not something. And when I say that, I'm talking about just an issue with pornography. It's not something
Yep.
that you're going to have to deal with forever. And God absolutely, even though we don't normally use this platform as a preaching platform, I do want to say that God can set you free from that, and He'll even use other people and different stuff like that to help you through that. So you don't have to be a victim or in slavery to that or whatever for forever. But then number 3, our third headline is, and this is on a much lighter topic. Fortnite has been
Ooh.
taken off. Google and Apple have effectively made the Fortnite app, disappear from the app stores because Fortnite was giving people an option to buy in-game currency through another manufacturer other than Google or Apple. And they did not like that. And so they said goodbye to Fortnite. That it screams monopoly, if you ask me. But what are your thoughts? How is this generation, how are kids going to function without Fortnite, Josh? How are parents going to function if kids don't have Fortnite to play?
I think parents will function better, the ones that actually aren't sucked into playing it all the time. But I was wondering why. I did see that headline yesterday, and I had no idea why.
Mm-hmm.
But kudos. I don't know. I've my youngest and my oldest. They both played it, and I don't get it. So,
Dude, I don't see the fun in it, but I know a lot of people who have played it, and even my siblings who got pretty into it at one point. And I'm like, there's been very few games that took over, the gaming network quite like Fortnite did.
yeah, it's a big
And so
one.
it's pretty intense to see that Apple and Google are so intense about, them getting their share of those in-game currencies that they'd be willing to take a game like Fortnite away, which just revolutionized, the gaming industry on some level. So
Oh yeah, dude, it changed. I mean, bro, I DJ every weekend. People be pulling moves from Fortnite on the dance floor.
always, yeah, isn't that
Like
weird?
it's kind of infiltrated every aspect of. Sorry, guys.
Gone.
You're fine.
Again.
Here. So yeah, dude, but it's cross culture, dude. It's not just a video game. It's I mean, I feel like it's influenced more than just video games because I'm not a
Right.
huge video gamer, but my life has, I've seen the effects of Fortnite even when I'm not even,
Right.
directly, influenced by the game.
Well, shout out to Fortnite. We hope everything works well. And then now I want to transition into talking to Daniel and Josh or whatever, but real quick, our Stop It segment
Stop it.
of the day. This is something that is near and dear to my heart, as most of these Stop It segments are. But I want to introduce this, and I just want to say, on behalf of everybody on Facebook, stop forwarding me all of those stupid videos that say watch this before they take it down, or you need to see this, or stop doing that. I am never going to watch it. Nobody watches it. I guess someone watches it because someone's forwarding it. But gosh, 3 times a day I get stuff like that, and I'm like, are y'all serious? Like, are you spending your time watching this? So stop doing that. What do y'all have any takes on that?
Oh, I have so many. I have one guy who I will not name, who won't listen to this anyway, but I'm not going to name him. He sends me 7 or 8 of these a day.
It's probably the same guy that I'm thinking about right now.
And then I have a couple of guys from our church who send me the same ones.
Okay, well, I have a couple of people from our church as well who probably are not going to listen to this either. But
but it's like this one
we
dude,
love y'all.
Like, I don't even know who this one guy is. Like,
oh, okay.
I don't know how we're friends, but I guess because I work at a church, he feels the need to share every conservative conspiracy post ever
Yeah.
watch the video before they take it down. I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. I don't even want you to
Right.
message me. Like, I'm just gonna unfriend him, I guess, and just kind of be done
It
with
would
that.
work. You could decline. You could make it to where he can't send you messages.
That's true.
It's
Just
just a
block
good
him.
stuff. Daniel, do you get messages like that a lot?
Dude, y'all have been deeply affected by this. I have not.
Okay.
But I scroll past it, but I don't have people sending them to me.
It tortures me. It torments me. Every day I get messages like this, and I'm like, I look at my messenger because I'm thinking, oh, someone needs to talk or reach out. Nope. Watch this before they take it down. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's such
I
a
will say
dramatized thing.
It's horrible.
it does spark my interest when I scroll past it though, like on Facebook. I'm like, I wonder
I
if they,
get well on Facebook, yeah, but I never see these on Facebook. These are only things that get forwarded to people through Messenger. And I'm always like, oh, if you're spending your time
actually
forwarding people things on Facebook Messenger, find something to do. Read
the
a book.
person that I see the most posted, and Alex, you know this person. It's a woman. Um, I guess I'm gonna leave it at that.
That's fine. I know who you're talking about.
And dude, she posts them all the
It
time.
is. It is. Oh, well, she's not a. She's not a Facebook
Josh, when
friend
I
of
come
mine.
up there, bro, we'll show you her Facebook.
Well, I had a runaround. I had runarounds with this lady in person whenever I was a youth pastor. So that's where I'll leave. I'll leave a little bit
Yeah.
of speculation out there, but I had runarounds with her in person, and it was just so irritating every single time. So yes, I know who you're talking about, but
Mm-hmm.
so Daniel, real cool. Actually, Josh. So for anyone who's still here, so right now, Josh, he mentioned he's been in quarantine because of COVID-19. Obviously, first his wife Alicia had it, and then he has had it for a few days. But the thing is, Daniel has actually had COVID-19 as well. So just I don't know. I don't people. It's so weird. I have people that say I don't even know one person who's had it. Like I don't even know. And I'm like, come on, like, are you serious? I know tons of people who've had it. So Josh, and then after Josh is done, Daniel, you give yours. Just tell us what it's been like. Having the dreaded and infamous COVID-19. Tell us, especially as an older gentleman in your age bracket, so someone who should be a little bit more fearful of it than maybe just your average old Joe out
Right.
there.
Because
We've
I'm a
been
little
praying
more
for Josh
frail.
hard. Yeah,
I'm
a
a
bit
little more frail than
So
some
tell
people.
us what your old person experience with COVID-19 has been.
Well, I can't take my Geritol anymore or my anti-diarrhea medicine that I always had to take. But and so I don't. I'm still wearing my diaper, so that's good. Nothing's changed there.
Dude, way to go, man.
My oops, I crapped my pants.
Better safe than sorry.
But for me,
What are the shakes that people take that regulate? Gosh, dude,
the
what are they
ones from
called?
Walmart.
Yeah, there's something. They're like the little shakes that help regulate your digestive system.
Hold on.
Oh, what's it called? I can't remember. I can just see you like drinking one of those though.
Ensure.
Ensure. Yes, I
Sure,
can.
yes.
So my dad drinks those.
Perfect.
Actually, I caught my 18-year-old son drinking those, and I was like, "Why are you drinking those?" He's like, "I need some protein." I was like, "Why don't you go buy some protein?" Like that's like 10 grams of protein.
Right.
That's not
Right.
going to help you.
Then
But
there's the fiber shakes.
yeah,
I can't remember what they're called, but
I don't either.
oh well.
So I haven't felt just awful. I'm in good shape though, so I feel like that probably helps.
Humble brag.
Yeah, humble brag. But if I was in terrible shape, if I weighed 350 and
Right.
had a bunch of respiratory problems, it probably wouldn't be good. But when I first got it, I was already in quarantine because my wife had it a few days before me. So I went to the doctor, tested positive, and they actually told me, like, you're way more contagious the day before your symptoms start. So that's something I did not know. Then he told me I had 10 days. It's actually 10 days from The start of your symptoms is when you have to be quarantined. Your kids, on the other hand, have to be, and people around you have to be quarantined 14 days after the day you're better.
Gosh.
So you're talking 2 weeks after you're actually better. That's what the health department said. The health department
Right.
has already called us. They're supposed to call me in the next day, and they've already talked to Alicia. But I had a fever, which is normal. Then I lost my sense of taste and smell, which is really odd. I can only explain to you that, like this morning, I ate a bowl of oatmeal with protein in it,
Right.
and I had cinnamon in it, butter, uh, apple fritter protein, like I
Very
didn't taste
tasteful. Yeah,
anything.
you didn't taste it.
I
It's
didn't
just a bunch of
taste
slop.
it. That's
That's
all it was. So I think the biggest part for me personally is just being in my room.
Right.
The mental part. There's a mental part to having to stay home all the time and not be around people. And I'm a people person, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm not around my coworkers anymore. I'm not around my friends. I'm not out talking to people, hanging out with people.
Right.
I can't even watch a show. Like, I tried to watch a movie and I just turned it off. I was like, I don't want to watch. So I just stare at the wall most of the time. Like, uh, it's been really weird, man. And I've been a little in my head about it for a couple of
Sure.
days, just being here. Because this has been, uh, I've been in here 8 days. So,
Jeez.
and I got 7 more to go. So, or 6 more to go. So,
Wow.
it just sucks. And I've missed church. I'm never away from church. 1 or 2 Sundays a year is like when I'm out, and I'm going to miss 2 in a row. So that's
Dude, and then you're
frustrating.
missing again in September.
I know. So that's weird. I'm just never out that much. So just to
Right.
know, and when I can't be there, like, and then it took away my running schedule, my workout schedule, all those things that I'm used to doing. That affects me more than headaches and
Right.
fever, and like you get me out of my routine that I love so much, and like I'm probably gonna do 200 push-ups today. I don't know, just to do something with my body. Like I need to do something. Like
That's
I can't.
200 more than what I'm going to
So I've got to do something, man. It's driving me nuts. But that's my experience. And then, just having to stay away from my kids, and make sure they don't get around me. And Zion come in my doorway last night and he goes, I really want to hug you, Dad. And I was like, well, sorry. You can't,
Oh,
you know.
do. Yeah.
So it just sucks all the way around. Me and my wife have slept in the same house for a week, but she's been
if
in
you can
one
hear me,
room and
my
I've been in the
internet's
other.
messing up right now for some reason, so I'm not really sure what's happening.
It does that sometimes.
Yeah.
Good old Spectrum.
Hey, oh, you're back. You're back. I got you now. Sorry, guys.
You're back too.
I was frozen. I don't know if they're doing some work on the internet right now or what's happening, but I know they're supposed to be here today. So um, Daniel, what was your experience with it?
Well, after having COVID-19, hashtag survivor, I feel like I have less faith in humanity than I did before I had COVID-19.
Okay,
So
explain.
I got it on July 2nd. You know, had fever, chills, sore throat, the whole 9 yards.
Sure,
Um, Honestly, I get sinus infections sometimes, like maybe
sure.
Same.
twice a year. So I thought it was that. So I was just blowing it off, take ibuprofen, whatever. So I had it for 2 days, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go get tested. Better safe than sorry. So I went to the doctor, and a week later, test came back positive. I was like, well, at this point, I don't have symptoms anymore. Like I'm all
Right.
better. So, um, so I guess I tested positive on the second. Got my positive actual
Sure.
diagnosis on like the 8th, and then dude, I freaking tested positive until the 26th of July. So
Oh my gosh.
I quarantined for 14 days, So I quarantined from the 2nd till the 16th. Okay. Doctor says I'm no longer contagious. And I kind of get to, start coming around my family, things like that. Well, dude, I just keep going back. Like I get tested, at least 2 times a week until I finally get tested negative. And dude, it was just the craziest thing because I'm like, I can't really tell anybody. I can't really be around anybody. I'm fine.
Right.
It's like at this point, I haven't had a fever or symptoms in 24 days. So it's like,
Jeez.
it was just like, I don't know.
What'd you do the whole time?
Mm,
I know the answer to this question. That's why I'm asking you because I kind of want to roast you in front of everybody.
what did I do the whole time?
What show did you watch the whole time, Daniel?
Dude, I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was the best decision I made in the month of July.
This guy spent an entire month doing nothing but binge watching Avatar.
Really, that only took like 2 weeks.
That's maybe one of my favorite things ever right now. And it's funny. He talked about it. He enjoyed it so much that I tried to watch it. I watched like 7 or 8 episodes of Avatar, and I was like, this is so lame. I hated it. And so then I started watching Dragon Ball Z. So I'll make fun of myself as well a little bit. But
That's not lame. All you listeners out there, if you go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, I promise you, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah, and he's talking about the cartoon series.
Oh yeah, the one on from
right. Not the movie, like the cart with Aang in it. So Daniel, so you mentioned, of course, I know you've had COVID and stuff. So you run RTR Pro Entertainment, and shout out to RTR Pro Entertainment right now.
Here we go, baby.
So tell me, and I'll probably chime in from time to time on this too, because while Daniel started RTR Pro Entertainment and did a few things on his own early on, I got to join with you and do some of the most fun, literally make some of the most fun memories of my life. And all RTR is, it's a DJ company. So proms, weddings, business events, downtown event things. We got to go do stuff like that. So how did you start RTR Pro Entertainment? Why did you want to do that?
Oh yeah. DJ the Stallion Galleon over here.
That was not my DJ. I do not have any DJing skills. The extent of my DJing was I had a computer and I pressed play 2 songs. I did not have a mixer. Really I didn't do anything like that. But buddy, I would turn that volume down real slowly, go to the next song, fade it in. I do it all manually.
Oh, that's what it's about. So I'm a 7 on the Enneagram, so I'm super outgoing.
What a way to start this off. Well, just so you know.
Just so you know, I'm a 7. So dude,
Swipe
I've just
left.
been the life of the party.
Sure.
I've been the guy to, if somebody's going to make a splash, I'm going to make the biggest splash, and
yes.
That's just how I've lived my life. That's just how my brain works,
He's not lying. This is when I first got to know Daniel, it was because at every I didn't even know Daniel, but at every public event that I was at, whether it was at our church or something like that, at some point, Daniel's shirt was off. Daniel was potentially on top of a table.
Oh, wow.
Or he, at any time, if there was a microphone in the room, somehow, some way, Daniel was going to have control or at least spend some time behind that microphone.
100%.
Yeah, it's just
fact. And people were better for it.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, dude. And then at the end of college, I guess I don't know if it was right before, or right after I graduated college. I had a buddy of mine. His name was Clay Webb. He introduced me to that. He's like, dude, people do this professionally. He said, right. You should invest into this professionally. We'll get this off the ground, and we can literally get paid to do parties and other events. And I was like, what? Like, I got paid a couple times to do this, MC, DJ, things like that, but I didn't think it was like an actual industry.
Right.
Um, so he's the one who really showed me the ropes of what to buy. So like literally did bought a truss, bought some lights, bought a sound system. I didn't even have a mixer. Like I didn't even have like a DJ board, but it was just, you know, let's
Oh
just
yeah.
do this thing. And me and him kind of officially launched RTR Pro Entertainment. Um, was just doing, you know, maybe five to 10 events a year,
Right.
barely booking anything.
Right.
So that was pretty much a side hustle through from 2016 all the way through 2019.
Uh-huh.
And in March of 2019, I was actually going back to school. So I already had a degree. I was actually
Sure.
going back to get another degree to do
Now,
physical therapy.
I'm going to interrupt real quick. So that it all started in 2016. Now, eventually Clay moved and Daniel's sister, or no, his cousin Brooke gets married, and he just kind of reaches out. And I say reaches out, me and Daniel literally lived in the same house. So he
I
didn't even send me a text. He walked out of his door. We lived in a duplex. He walked out of his door and into my door and was like, "Hey, dude, you want to come and DJ with me this weekend? You'll get paid. I don't even know what amount it was, but you get paid, and this is what we'll do. I just need you to like make some playlists and help me to set all this stuff up." And I'm thinking, nah, I don't really know if I want to do this. It sounds like something I've never done, but I go and do it, and it ends up being so fun because I mean, think about it. If you're a wedding DJ, then what that means is you get paid to go and be the party starter. You literally get paid to go to someone's wedding, to set up sound and stuff for the ceremony, and then to just sit there and play music and eat free food whatever they're
so
eating
much
at the
free food.
ceremony, to dance, to have fun, and you're getting paid to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not even a wedding. It is your job to go and have fun. And so we go, and immediately it was like I got to do this and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the most fun thing I've ever done for money in my entire life." Like it was so simple, and although I didn't know anything about sound equipment or anything like that, immediately I was like, "Dude, count me in. Like let's do this thing. Let's make it big." And so for the next, I don't know, year and a half or so, after once I was like, I joined, Daniel started investing into some nicer gear. And it was funny because we had to learn so much, man. All we had was this
Literally
little
everything.
soundboard with like six plugins on it. I mean, it was so tiny, it was so old. And catch this, at one point, we didn't even own a soundboard. We were taking the soundboard from my youth room that was a hand-me-down soundboard, and we were borrowing speakers from the youth room sometimes, bringing them to our events and getting paid for them. Like it cracks me up that we did that.
Bro.
But like we so did not. Daniel was just really like how it would go is I just kind of like got the playlist, and Daniel would, if he liked the song or something, he would tell me to put the song in the playlist, and we would do all the setup and stuff like that. And I would just sit back there and play the music. It was literally just clicking play, no mixing, nothing like that. I'd play the music, and then Daniel would do all the MC stuff. So, please stand for the bride, or as he's announcing the wedding party, he would announce them and we'd have the songs playing in the background or whatever. But then when it came time to the dance floor, Daniel is it's not just a DJ, it's the Daniel Barnett experience. And that's what is the difference with RTR, is that Daniel is out on the dance floor with the microphone, and he is the hype man of all hype men. Like you've if you've not experienced Daniel Barnett at a wedding or a dance, even a school prom, okay? I saw this guy at a school prom get
Oh
out
yeah.
there and own it. And I'm talking about at one point, kids are just like, this guy is awesome. Like they love Daniel. Everyone loves Daniel. So he gets out there, he owns it. And I just sit back there, sometimes even with just Sam, and just sit back there and click play and eat wedding food or prom food or whatever it is that happens to be there. And then we pack up and we roll on. But like, it was so low quality at first that I didn't even know how to hook up the speakers into the soundboard. I didn't even know how to do that. And I remember
Mm-hmm.
one time I had to get my friend CJ, we had to call him FaceTime, and he had to walk me through it. And we were at an event and we could not figure out how to get the sound into the speaker. So I had to call someone else and they had to teach me how to like hook it up into the soundboard. And then I had to make a video of myself of like where each cord was connected. And for months after that, I would have to reference that video to remember how to work a soundboard and how to do speakers and
Like, is this
stuff.
how we set it up? I don't know.
It was
Like, yeah,
so
I don't know.
irritating. It was so irritating, but we learned along the way and we got to do a lot of fun stuff. So okay, yeah, tell us where you're at now.
Yeah, dude. So, a lot of the reason I was going to transition out of it when I was going to go back to school was I was just like, I don't see like a long term future in
Sure.
this. I was like, when I'm 45, 50 years old, it ain't going to be the same with
Right,
me
right.
being slower with these,
The
you know
Daniel
what I'm
Barnett experience may not be quite as
saying? It's not the same experience.
That's
It is right now, though. So,
come on, kids, come out here and dance with me.
let's go. So I was like, well,
be easy on the 45 to 50. I don't talk like that. At
Dude,
40.
but you're right, you're right.
Come on over and do the Daniel Parr experience.
But Josh, dude, you've done some DJ stuff in your life too.
Oh, bro, I did one prom and I was
Yeah.
done. I was done. I could
See,
not do
I-
it anymore. I
I
was
love
done.
I attract the same type of friends across the board. Like, what are the chances that both Josh and Daniel, coming from radically different generations, are both former and current DJs? They both had COVID-19. Well, I mean, what are the chances?
Look at that.
You guys are so similar.
But so I was looking to transition out because I just didn't see a long term future in it. And I was like, I got to be thinking, future wise. Anyway, so but I didn't. So I had my buddy Isaac Walls with me, and he was just kind of going to finish out the rest of my events that I had already scheduled,
Sure.
and I was going to sell everything, just get out of it. Well, that didn't happen. Between Isaac and some other influences in my life, I wound up in March of 29 of last year starting the business, got a business license, um, started marketing out the wazoo, started doing bridal shows, started doing, online marketing, all that kind of stuff to where we started blowing up and I had to get a second rig. So it was me running one show and then Isaac was running another team. And dude, it just kind of, it got traction like I never expected because obviously we're a small fish in a big pond. We're still very, very new compared to these guys that have been doing it 20, 30 years. But like in 2018, I did 11 events. Last year, from March to December, I wound up doing 45 events.
Wow.
This year, 2020,
Wow.
even with COVID, we'll finish right over 60 events for
That's
this year.
insane, man.
Goal is next year because 2020 was supposed to be our year, but it's turned out to be the worst year of all time for everybody. So next 2021 is our year, dude. I'm hoping to do over 100 events. Right now, we're finishing up a third rig, so we'll have 3 teams.
Wow.
Right now, I have about 5 DJs that work for me. And dude, it's just like I didn't understand the industry, especially the wedding industry, because don't get me wrong, with a DJ, you're in the wedding industry. You do proms, you do birthday parties, you do corporate events.
Sure.
We've done award shows.
I was there for one. I did one of those with you.
But where I thought like this is just going to be kind of like pocket change, like bro, there's guys out there. I mean, their companies are grossing well over $1 million.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I'm a visionary, so like I'm like always looking in the future. Like I'm like, we're wanting to have photo booths. We're wanting to like be in like all these entities. Like we want to be a one-stop shop eventually.
Yeah.
But also, dude, because Isaac came this year, he came on at 30%. So now we co-own the business. I own 70%. He owns 30%.
Sure.
But we're trying to get a formula together to where we can literally franchise our brand because that is something.
Awesome.
These guys are making stupid money only marketing in like their city. Like DJs in Huntsville, they only do Huntsville. Birmingham, they only do Birmingham. Dude, I want to do all of it. So it's like having a formula to where we can literally plant these things all over Alabama, all over the South, and just make it literally a franchise thing to where, anywhere you go, there's an RTR Pro Entertainment, and you know what you're getting. You know, so it's exciting, dude. I
That's
think
so
it's
cool.
baby steps right now.
How much? How much? Remind me, your first year where you were keeping up with money, and I know you said 2018 there was 11 events. That's pretty much whenever me and you were doing it together. Like
Yeah,
that's when we had like 11 events. I can still recall all 11 of those events. They were lots of fun. But so your
that,
first year, how much did you make again? Because I know it was more like 5,000 or something. I don't know. I mean,
it
was
was
it
like
even that
it was
much?
like $5,050 is what we
Right.
made.
So what were
Over the,
you projected? Because I remember you told me some numbers before COVID hit. What were you projected to make this year?
I would have made probably right over 100,000.
Look, isn't that insane? I mean,
Wow.
like from
That's cool.
5,000 the first year to a projected 100,000 that should have happened this year. I know last year you still made a really decent amount of money as compared to, of course,
Last
the
year, I think
5,000.
I made like 22,000
Right, right.
last year off
Which
45 minutes. And dude, that was and I'm still trying to get pricing down because
right,
um, you know, I think something else where I kind of fell off was I didn't know. I'm new. I don't have any mentor in this industry. I'm just new to it, just kind of learning everything. And pricing was huge because, dude, I was lowballing the crap out of myself.
right, right.
Like, dude, there's a guy. I was like, first off, we're as good as anybody.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
we're as good as anybody in Alabama. We might not have all the inventory that these guys have, but
Right.
we for sure provide the service as good as
Sure.
anybody. Um, and dude, what I was realizing was I was losing. This has actually been kind of recent. I've lost some DJs to some of the bigger companies,
Right.
and I'm still cool with all these dudes. So there's no like bad blood or
Sure.
anything with them. It's super chill. But I was asking them like, you know, what are you? What are they paying you per event? Like, what's causing you to
Right.
be? Dude, these jokers are getting paid like $750 for like 4 or 5 hours.
Oh my gosh.
And dude, some of my smallest packages are like 850.
Right.
Like,
Right.
look,
You start spreading that out amongst the group.
we start looking at some of the numbers of like, okay, how are they getting paid this, all this kind of stuff. Well, dude, RTR is even right now still going through a revamping
Right.
phase. But dude, it's just like I've like ran the numbers. I've had meetings with my team, and we've gone up. And our prices complete. We're not the most expensive guys, but we're for sure not the cheapest guys anymore.
Right. Right.
What this
Right.
will allow us to do is, dude, I'm going to be able to pay my guys similar to that,
Right.
to where I could have never expected the guys that work for me to make this their full time. Like I could,
Hmm.
like with the money that you're going to make from this, I can't expect you to provide for a family or
Right.
take this as serious as like I'm taking
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Literally now, man, it's like now we're charging professionally because we are professional, and literally I'm going to be able to pay guys enough to where I used to cannot put the pressure for this to be their full time. This will easily be their full time, and
Wow.
that'll change the whole dynamic of
Oh yeah.
my business altogether. Because now I have guys that are with me long term. Because I mean, dude, think about it. Think about if they did an event Friday, Saturday, Sunday, three
That's
days, 15 hours of work. You're pulling in what 2,300 bucks.
right. That's
I
insane.
mean, it's just a game changer altogether.
It's like they're going to be getting paid like doctors for like
Yeah,
the hours that they work. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
dude.
cool.
And I mean, I don't expect this to be the end. I'm sure I'll learn even more. You know what I'm saying? But this
yeah,
is just like you live and you learn, and you're just in the industry, and you just kind of learn the things as you go. But dude, I'm excited. You know,
you're
we
a
have
professional partier.
I know, bro. And
How
dude, it's like
crazy is that?
I'm mainly in it for the free food.
Right. That's really what it's all about, dude. That free grilled
Uh,
chicken and green beans and mashed potatoes and mac and cheese that you
Dude,
have at every single
when I
wedding.
get to a venue and I see a barbecue company rolling up in there, and I know I'm about to get myself a barbecue sandwich and some
Right.
coffee.
It's game on,
That's
baby.
a good night.
Absolutely.
I'm like, we can go home now because this is great.
Josh, you got any questions or anything like that just on the top of your mind?
I'm very impressed. I mean, like, just even with you, you young cats, just being able to take something like this and make it that big. I think franchising is a great idea. Anytime you can take something and franchise it where you can make money and not have to be individually involved and physically
Right.
involved in something somewhere else. Hopefully, you can do that and just move to Tennessee. Just
Right.
franchise everything out. Just move to
Before you get
Podunk,
here,
West
dude.
Tennessee, and we'll make West Tennessee great again.
Dude, let's do
Absolutely.
it, bro.
He's trying to bring RTR around here. He is. We've
I
you
really
heard.
am.
could, you could. They're very limited on DJs around here.
That was
Very
actually
limited.
I was actually looking to launch RTR up there this fall, but
Mm-hmm.
obviously with COVID and stuff, that did not happen.
Right.
And even with the growth that we've experienced down here, I didn't realize like even teams that I was going to have to build down here sooner than later. But
Right.
dude, like literally, I want West Tennessee so bad.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
we've
Come
already got.
take it, dude.
I've talked to. Does it matter if I name drop on here?
No, yeah, you can name drop.
Dude, even like with Peyton,
Yeah.
dude, I've stayed in contact with him. Um, ever since I had COVID, I haven't, there's been kind of I haven't talked to him as much, but dude, just getting some guys up there because even now, like knowing what to charge and how to charge, and I know
Yeah.
it's different per area, but if you're professional, I think you know what I'm saying. You're
Yeah.
providing a high class service. People are going to pay it, or people aren't. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Hmm.
dude, I'm just excited, man, because even dude, I don't know, people at y'all's church, people in that area that y'all know, like, this is gonna be a sweet form of income for some
It
people,
is. It
especially
is.
Yeah.
if we can get a couple teams launched up there where, you got two, three teams running West Tennessee and these
Oh
guys are
yeah.
making
Right.
at stacks.
Yes.
and I know it's work. Like I know it's fun, but I know it's pretty fast paced too. Like especially proms. Like the prom that I did, it was just like non-stop
For sure.
request,
Oh yes.
non-stop. Like just trying to get stuff done and download it if I didn't have it and putting it on, and it wore me out, dude.
Oh
I was
yeah, dude.
tired. But that same school has called me every year since then and asked me to do it, and I was like, sorry, like I retired after that one gig. I didn't want nothing to do with that. So like, you
Dude,
have, and they're always looking for people. Like there's just that's not a. There's DJs here. I have a friend who's a DJ here, but there's not many people that just can come in with a big package like that and really do things well. And there's just not many of those. It's
Right.
very rare.
and really when people ask me, like, I don't even describe RTR as a DJ company when they ask me like what is RTR. We're
Right.
really a professional lighting, sound, and DJ company
Right.
Got you.
because we can provide just professional lighting for events or just professional sound, and then we have DJs that can DJ your events for you as well. So,
Yeah,
Right.
that's cool.
um,
That's a
pretty
good
much anything
plus.
yeah, for sure. And then just anything you need for an event, I mean, we can provide and enhance your event in some way. So, but yeah, dude, super pumped. I'm looking forward to, hopefully getting in all the high schools up there.
Oh
And
yeah, dude.
because here's the thing, like once you get into bridal shows up in an area, I mean, you infiltrate, because
Yeah.
you do
Yeah.
one or two weddings and then people see you there and then they get your card and then, you
Yep.
get their friends' weddings, their families' weddings. So it's just kind of a
Dude, the stories we have about going to people's weddings though, gosh, from crazy, not necessarily always crazy brides, but definitely crazy family members. There was one wedding where we rolled up to do the DJing and I almost had to perform the ceremony. Like because they found out I was a youth pastor and the person that was supposed to be doing their ceremony was sick and I almost had to perform the ceremony. But I did have to plan, like I had to teach them how to walk down the aisles and where to stand. It was like I was their day of coordinator. Who in the
Yeah.
world has to do that? I don't know, but we almost when we were up there, we had a website where we were very close to offering wedding coordinator services, officiant services, photography, of course, lighting, sound, DJ, all that stuff, and like hair and makeup services because I was going to offer myself as day of coordinator and officiant service. Sam, my wife, was going to be the hair and makeup. We had a girl named Tessa who was going to be the photographer and go with us. And then, of course, RTR with the sound and stuff. We were potentially going to be doing all of that
Dude,
at different places.
you know what's funny is, dude, like I said, I just have so much vision, like
Yeah.
just for the future, because, bro, one day RTR, like I want it to be an all-encompassing company, like
Yes.
RTR for entertainment. Like I want to have a venue, like I want to have a wedding venue, and that's where we base everything out of. Well, for the hub at least.
Sure.
And dude, I want to be, all your lighting, sound, DJ needs, but then I want to do event decorating. I want to do photo booths.
Flowers.
I wish I had a caterer, a flower,
Yeah.
photographer. Like literally, dude, you come and consult with me, and
We'll get it
you
all
pay
taken care of.
you pay one price, and we do everything.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
So yeah,
So,
That's
dude.
so cool.
well, come on down to Tennessee. I know people. We'll get you hooked up.
Dude, I'm down for real.
Well, Daniel, thank you for coming on here with us
Yes,
today.
sir.
And we love you, and we can't wait to see you soon because we know
Dude, I
you're
love
going to be
y'all
coming
guys.
around. So, Josh, is there anything that you wanted to touch on before we rolled out of here?
I'm gonna go back to my room.
All right, go back to your room and stare at the wall for a little while. And I'm going to go grab something to eat right now because I am starving. But
Same.
well, Daniel, we love you. I love you. We'll see you soon.
Love you,
Josh,
bro.
love
Love
you.
y'all.
Miss you. And shout out to our entire What Are We Thinking podcast family. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching, listening, all of that. Be sure, like, subscribe, share, comment, review on all of this. If you haven't already done that, not only will it keep you updated as to when the next episode comes out, but it'll help our algorithm and get our name out there a little bit. So whether you're watching from Canada, the US, or from another country, we love you, we appreciate you, and we are out.
Peace out.